Hello and welcome to the Shaken Up Show playing away. This week from a remote location because I'm on the laptop. This week's guest is Jack Pollard from CELTIC. He's their social media manager and he's here to tell us all about what we should expect on our trip to Inglenorth Park this weekend as we take on, again, CELTIC. Jack, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing very, very well, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. So, thank you for coming on. I'll crack straight into it. Can you introduce yourself and tell our fans a little bit more about what your role is at CELTIC?
So my name is Jack. I'm 17 and I am the social media play-by-play commentator and PR man for the club. I've been doing that for around a year since start last season. Fantastic.
And how did you get involved initially? What drove you to get involved with the club?
So it's been a part of me my whole life. I've grew up here, I've never moved. I grew up in Clayton. So I started going to watch the club when I was like sort of 2, 3. My brother-in-law used to be the star striker, the man. So I've been going up for 15 years. And in my current role, I got into it last year. Our secretary wanted someone to do match reports, get us back in the local papers to get the club sort of back into the media side of it. And he literally came over to me after a game and he goes, "Can you do a match report for this game? And we'll see what it's like." I went, "Yeah, I can. Yeah, that's fine." So then I've been doing the match reports, the Twitter, the social media, all of that malarkey since about September last year.
That's about the same time I've been doing it for Berry, to be honest, in my role. Brilliant. Now, CELTIC are a club that, I mean, many will have heard of because of the Celtic and you have the hoops and people will notice that. But for those that don't know, what's the club's nickname?
I refer to them as the green and whites. It's the colours. Celtic's quite common, especially if other teams come to us, and that's how they sort of refer to us as. But it came about due to our sort of location. Obviously, we're right opposite Ireland over the Irish Sea. So in the past, Clayton was known as Little Ireland. So there's a lot of Irish immigrants. You'll see it with some of the players, some of the last names, a bit more Irish sounding in Mahones and things like that. So there's a lot of Irish influence and it just seemed right to make a football club. It's Clayton Celtic. It's been around since 1909. So it's quite a long sort of storied history, but it's all stemmed from our geographical location.
Fantastic. And talking about your geographical location, what's the stadium called? Where is it?
So we are in West Cumbria, past the lakes. So you go past all your Bass and Thwaites and your Derwentwaters and all them, sort of tucked away near the coast, near Whitehaven. We play in a ground called Inglenorth Park, which is just a small ground. Your clubhouse, your proper non-league clubhouse. Recently had quite a big, hefty push on sort of upgrading the ground. So we've got this lovely new beer garden in. The pitch is probably the best it's been in since I can remember. But it's a proper community club. You see the same people in on a Saturday that you do on a Friday night or a Sunday afternoon, and it's just a really, really nice small community club. So unlike clubs in the city, we're in our own little place. There's no real football clubs around us because Cumbria is heavily rugby league. So for us, the closest away day is Holker, Old Boys, which is an hour and a half on the bus.
Right.
Which is
we've looked at the distance. It's quite an early set off on the coach on Saturday morning. It's going to be quite the trek, but we're looking forward to it. You won 10-0 last weekend, didn't
you? On the start we've had to this season has perplexed me, to be honest. We played 4 games. We won 10-0 on Saturday. We lost 3-1 last night to quite a strong Campion side. I know you played them on Sunday. They were very, very strong. I thought we were quite unfortunate with a couple of decisions not going our way. The 10-0 was unreal. We just seemed to click. And that was a proper full-strength side. Because we've got a rotating squad due to work and different things like that. People can't make it every weekend, and we know that. The game before that, the Blackpool game, they scored every chance they had. We missed quite a few chances. And the first game of the season was one of the messiest games I've ever seen. We ended up with 7 men at one point, due to sim bins and cards and things like that. It ended up 2-2. Scored a last-minute header to bag a point.
So a varied start to the season then.
Just took me by surprise, really, how sort of everywhere we've been.
So the talk on our message boards and on our social media and various other outlets in and around the game at Nelson the other night is that people are planning to travel up and pay on the day, and quite a fair few. But we've sold quite a few already. I saw, was it 179 have bought already? What's an average turnout at a Cleatamore game?
It's dependent on our local rugby league side playing. So for the St Helens game, it was 90. It can sort of range between 90 and 110, just depending on if it's a nice day or not, and weather and different things like that. We're quite renowned for having on and off weather. But sort of 90 to 110, which is quite good.
Well, for the league, I mean, I've seen that some of the attendances this year have been quite good. Some have been quite low. It's been a bit of a mixed bag already. I saw one game had about 36 last week, and then the same team had over 300 a week later. So it's up and down like that. We're just hoping we can bring a couple of hundred and spend some money on the bar and put some money into, because that's because we know that we'll bring a following. It's the best thing is that we'll be able to put some money into these clubs, and we know that big paydays for clubs that only get small attendances, they can change the season, can't they? It's definitely not going to be an easy game. That was the talk as well. Last weekend the WhatsApp group lit up a bit, like, have you seen this 10-0 here? But we've got quite a strong team. What about you? Who are your sort of standouts? Who in the Cleatamore team is going to make our fans go, wow, look at him? Like,
the first one that is instant is our captain, Tom Mahone. Plays in sort of a number 8 box-to-box type player. He's been there through our youth ranks. We've got youth ranks going from under 6s up to under 18s, and a second team and then a first team, and he's been there his whole life. And he's one of the players that on his day he just picks up the ball, takes on 3 players, slots a great ball through, scores. But our standout man for the start of this season has been Ryan Hall, and he's had quite a few injury problems over the past couple of years. But even last night in the game against Blackpool, he was a different type of player. So he likes to sit behind the striker, pick up the ball again. He's good at taking on men, but he's got a hell of a shot on him. And he's not afraid to have a go, which really you need to do in this league, because a keeper can have a really, really good day, a really, really bad day.
Well, that happened at Nelson on Tuesday night. That they didn't look like scoring, which isn't a discredit to him. They played fantastically, but they just didn't look like putting one in the back of the net. And then in the last 10 minutes, the ball fell to one of their midfielders 25 yards out, and he whacked it, and it found its way through every pair of legs and in the bottom corner, and they got one back, and that elusive clean sheet is still haunting us. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great game. I've not managed to check out any of your highlights yet. That's my mission for the rest of the week. But have you watched any of ours, or has anyone scouted any of us? What are you expecting from a Bury team coming to your ground?
There was a few of us that were in the club on Sunday, because I don't always work for the first team. I work in the bar as well. So I'm behind the bar helping out on a Sunday or a Friday night or whatever. And I watched the game against Campion because I thought that's really, really good for us. We can watch the 2 teams that we play next. So I was mainly scouting our Campion, but I just noticed how sort of fast-paced and flowing the football was. It's something that we don't really see in this league. we're used to a lot of people coming to us with target man strikers and sort of the older strikers with wingers that don't exactly like to run up the line. They just like to sort of sit and then swing a ball in. We've got a big target man. He holds it off to someone a bit more nimble on the outside. But fast wingers are going to be, I'd say, the catalyst for you, sort of coming at us and trying to attack. But we've got a good balance. We seem to do well against every type of sort of attack, but there's not one where we can easily manipulate it and counter-attack and get behind. Sometimes it takes us 5 or 10 minutes to get into a game and sort of settle ourselves down.
Well, we've said this, and our gaffer says it all the time, there's not going to be an easy game in this league. Anyone from top to bottom, because you don't know what's coming week in, week out. You know, you might catch a team on an off day. Like you guys with St Helens last week, you clicked. St Helens had a bad week. You shipped 10 past them. You know, any other week, that could have been a 0-0 or our win on Sunday with Campion. They defended so well. And I don't know if you guys found that when you played them the other night. Like, they're fantastic. And we keep calling them the new boys, but they're not, because they've come from the Eastern League, haven't they? So, we're really looking forward to the game. I've spoke to a few managers on this show from other teams that have said they're excited to play us because of exactly what you said, that we're not just going to sit back or try and lump it up to us. You know, we will play, and they're looking forward to being able to play back at us. It'll be an open game. So, we're really looking forward to it. What can our fans expect from a trip to Inglenorth Park? So, right. So what can our fans expect from a trip to Inglenorth Park?
So, good hospitality. So we've got a newly refurbished clubhouse, all that type of thing, and friendly staff and friendly fans that'll tell you quite a lot about the club, our origins, how we're doing. It was like we went to Campion last night. I was speaking to some of the older ones there, and like just really, really friendly. Just like, we just want to come and play football.
Oh, definitely.
It's not. There's no rivalries. There's nothing stupid. It's just a day out on a Saturday. You get to see a new ground. You get to go and meet new people, and it's just nice to be involved in, really.
Definitely. I mean, I keep referring to it as just one big non-league party, and it's all new to us. So, as it's all new to us, the next questions are a little bit boring, really. But is it pay on the day?
You can, yes.
And how much is it?
See, this is the thing.
I think, is it 5 and 3?
I think it's £3 admission. Okay. I think it's £2 for over 65s, and it's free under 18s.
There we go.
Under 16's free. Sorry.
Under 16's free. So all you 17 to 18-year-olds, don't be trying it on Saturday.
I'm all right.
Program. We like programs. How much is your program?
£3, I believe, or £2. £2 or £3.
Okay. Pies, hot dogs.
I'm not sure what the crack is for Saturday. I think we are getting food on, but it's due to our sort of lower tendencies. We're not really used to ever having it on. But there's a lot of food spots around us. There's a Greggs around the corner. There's a co-op, like a smaller supermarket. But I think I'll have to double check, and I will get back to you. I think there is food on Saturday.
We'll confirm that. We'll confirm that on Twitter. between us both. And no, the last one. What's the best ale in the Cleator Celtic Clubhouse?
Oh, this is because I drink anything, but I recommend Heineken because they're coming in frosted glasses. It's a nice pint.
Nice pint. Nice cold pint of Heineken. There we go. Right, I've got one last question for you, Jack. I appreciate you taking your time out and coming on the show. What's the score going to be on Saturday?
It's depending on the strength of our squad and if they click. But I'm not going to go on the fence because that's boring. But I have the feeling, because we haven't had one yet, maybe we'll leak out a 1-0 win.
A 1-0 win. Okay. I don't do score predictions because I'm a jinx. But no, that's brilliant. Thank you ever so much for coming on. And I will see you on Saturday. Massive thanks to Jack from Cleatamore Celtic there for coming on the show and telling us all about what we should expect this weekend on the road. If you've not got your tickets yet, there'll be a link in the description. Tickets are very fairly priced. Also, shirts are on sale. Hope and Glory have restocked. So go to shop.buryafc.uk, grab yourself a shirt, and we'll see you Saturday at Cleatamore. Goodbye.